Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to the website missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so I have Kelli Dennehey Christina on the line, and she's CEO of KdStaffing, and she's also international best-selling author of Riding the Executive Roller Coaster, Medical Staffing Cases. Kelli, welcome to the show.
Adam, thank you very much for inviting me and taking this time with me this week.
Oh, Kelli, so I've been looking forward to this episode. For everybody out here that's been watching this show for a long time, they know I love promoting authors. I love promoting writing and their books. And I'm excited to introduce your book today to our audience, Riding the Executive Roller Coaster, and really just get this content into people's hands because it's needed. But before we get into the book, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all, with our Mission Matters Minute. So Kelli, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Kelli, what mission matters to you?
I have a lot of missions, Adam, but first mission would be the best version of yourself. And, in business and success, I'm a big believer in setting people up for success, taking care of your clients, developing a long-term relationships on a 4 to 5 star service, go above and beyond with ambition and all of it.
It's awesome. Love to bring mission-based entrepreneurs and executives on the line to really share why they do what they do, like what motivates them, what gets them excited and raring and out there to go to create value and to provide value to the marketplace and the world. So awesome to have you on the show, Kelli. And just to get us started, so let's start a little bit more about your background. So how'd you get started really in this path in business?
Okay. When you say, how did you get started? I have 2 careers. I'm double backed by the restaurant industry and recruitment. I started way back in the day. You could start at 15 years old. I started in the restaurants. I have a hotel restaurant business degree. I was a restaurant boss at 19.
Wow.
And spent 10 years in restaurant management. And at the age of 30, I decided, you know what? I'm switching careers. I'm going to try something new. And Adam, I've got 20 years in recruitment and medical staffing current day.
So, there's a lot of people out there right now that are changing careers. They're pivoting. I mean, starting businesses, just a lot of things going on. For context, everybody that's watching this, we're recording this at the end of 2021, going into 2022. So we're in very late December, a couple of days till the new year happens. Yeah. And there's people and there's a lot of change going on, Kelli. So you've changed different from industry to industry. You also work heavily in the staffing industry, which we'll talk about in a moment. But what kind of advice would you give to those that are out there right now that are kind of just searching? They're thinking about changing careers or doing different things. A lot of like, as I said, pivoting going on. Like, what kind of advice would you give to them?
I love job advice. Well, first off, we find out, and I often tell our younger generation, even when they're going to college, to get a job, even if it's a part-time job, because, one career or one job can train you for the rest of your life in career success. Yeah. I attribute a lot of my knowledge and my strong assets in running my own operation to what my bosses taught me about running operations in the 90s. All right. So a lot of your career and your life skills, they roll on even when you go to switch careers. Yeah. When we're talking about the pandemic and people stressed about jobs and money and what are they going to do, you will find out real quickly. And the basis of my book is I'm the do what it takes lady, which means sometimes you're going to do what it takes to get back up. When you talk about doing what it takes in jobs and hard times, Adam, some of the top executives in the United States of America have been known to go out to the restaurants, run valet, do jobs that they are way overqualified for. And what are they doing? They are bringing that money in for their family. All right. And sometimes it takes a spirit of humility. There's people that will sit around and they'll worry about money. And then there's the people that will get up there and they'll take that uncomfortable 1 job, 2 job, weekend job, whatever they got to do. And believe it or not, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it does work, because the idea is that we push forward and, through challenging times to better times. And, but you got to do what it takes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I couldn't agree more. And you do have to do what it takes. So love that answer. Let's go further into KdStaffing. So of course, staffing, tell us a little bit more about the business.
I love staffing. I'm very into ambition, going above and beyond. And oh, by the way, let's try to beat the competition as a company owner, right? I'm one of those leaders that, if you've been a boss as long as I have been, sometimes I have years where I want somebody else to be the boss. All right. I'm tired of being the boss. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm also one of those employees that I always just follow the boss's rules. We always hit our goals. We do exactly what whoever is, running, the business or the operation does. And magically something happens. You're the boss again.
Yeah.
And so, what people don't realize is there's challenges, whether you're running operations or you're working for operations. The grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. So I had been a restaurant manager 10 years. And then, of course, I didn't want to be a boss as a recruiter, and I became the boss again. And I ran divisions for quite a few years, and very big into sales awards. And, some people can settle for a smaller success. Some people shoot for the stars. I always shoot for the stars. So in 2007, it would only make sense that I would want to try to open my own company. So we opened KdStaffing.
Wow.
And
what a year, by the way. So 2007, 2008. I mean, that was, the housing crisis. That was a very, tricky period of time in this country's history to be starting a business, staffing, or any other business for that matter. And the only reason I bring up that, that fact is because, going through what we're going through right now is on the tail end of the pandemic. And as we get past that, right, like there, some people are going to, start businesses, some aren't, some people are letting go of things. But that was a tricky time to start a business. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you were thinking back then?
You are almost rolling into the basis of the book, Writing the Executive Roller Coaster Medical Staffing Cases. And I only bring that up because the book was reviewed by Jim Alcon, and he brought up, wow, you opened KdStaffing in 2007, which you are correct. We hit a recession. Okay. And, the difference between current day Kelli Christina and the Kelli Christina of 2007, 2008 is this, Adam. I had a lot of suggestions back then, because you are right. When you open a brand new company, you roll into a recession, all right? Your company has not had enough time to grasp the sales it needs to actually survive, right? So you start stressing and you don't know what it means to fail, right? But so many people suggested to me in 2008, Kelli, just go get a weekend job or get a nighttime job. And Adam, at that point in history, I was like, you want the great Kelli Christina to get a second? I can't do that. I've been a boss, blah, blah, lot of excuses, right?
Yeah.
So what I did is transition with another recruitment office. And, the boss at the time, he said, let's put our companies together. But you're talking to a prideful female that said, no, 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 no. I built, I paid, I designed for my company. I will be happy to sign a non-compete, take my company, smash it down, but you can't have my company. We'll look at it at a later date. So that's what I did. So
amazing story. And
current
so what
day,
type of What type
Sure.
of what
ahead.
type of clients do you typically work with? Like who gets, because there's a lot of, entrepreneurs, business owners, executives that watch this program, and just trying to get a feel for like what type of clients get the most value out of working with you and your company. Is there certain industries or industry
We are definitely, I would say, a boutique. And I bring that up because when you think of a recruitment firm, you think of jobs and you think,
Yeah.
oh, this person can work with every job in the United States of America, and they forget that staffing is specialized. And the reason why I bring that up is because we're a contingent firm, which means you don't pay for our medical professionals unless we actually place them. But we're permanent. We do every single nursing role and department out there. We do nursing managers, directors, mid-levels. I've had years where we've done physicians, but we try to stay a little bit more specialized towards nursing current day. Adam, our clients are the hospitals.
Yeah.
And speaking of long-term relationships with clients, KdStaffing has been in One Healthcare Network for 11 years.
Wow.
And but we do that because we can prove our services. You already know if you can't perform, your clients are going to fire you.
For
okay.
Sure.
I, about 6 years ago, changed my own mission statement to state this. We prefer less clients and a larger scale of service versus take every contract in the United States of America and you can't do the job.
Yeah.
Totally. You find out over the years of running operations that when you open a company, there's so much you learn throughout the years. It's like anything else, you're from year to year, month to month, you're always trying to grow and develop as a company owner, as a leader. Sure. So in 2007, of course, I wanted to get every contract in the United States of America, all right? But over the years, you find out that about 35% of your clients are the ones you're actually, have that long-term success with. So why not go smaller and deliver a larger scale service?
Yeah, no, amazing.
Makes sense?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I want to shift gears here a bit, Kelli. So let's move on to the main event. So I've been itching. I want to talk about this book. So Riding the Executive Roller Coaster on Medical Staffing Cases. So first off, I have to start with the obvious. Like, what was the inspiration for writing this book?
The inspiration is obviously, I fictionalized all the characters, all right, but it's a book based on real life events, all right, and it's my life story. I play Catherine Lane in the book, and it's pieces of what happened in life and business from 2010 to 2018. The book itself, Adam, has a lot of personalities. It was very exciting. I beat John Grissom in legal last spring. And of course, that's because it's a new book. But the point is that the book has, it's been labeled a lot of things: a novel, memoir, notebook, soap opera, inspirational testimonial book. What else? Crime drama, because when you have a lot of people, that is going to equal drama. So the book has a lot of juice in it. But the basis of the book, Adam, is, the original manuscript is a litigation book. And the real public records. It's 225 pages. Some people like to call that the famous Donald Trump book. It did go up to Donald Trump in 2018, but the difference is he does know me. And Donald Trump had a letter. He knew it was coming. The federal investigation in medical staffing, but he had a letter to me in 7 days on that book. All right. So it's a serious matter. The book tells how I would start government work in this country, making a difference. And Adam, people don't always realize when you're working in industries, while you're trying to make advocate changing laws or, improving systems or regulating an industry, what does that work require? And it requires attorneys, legal, government officials, Washington, D.C., FBI, how do you work the system in the United States of America so we can make a difference?
Mhm.
And for me, I'm trying to make a difference for about 10 years in medical staffing.
Tell me about the title. So riding the executive roller coaster. When I read that, I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting. So like, how'd you come up with that?
So from a life basis
Mhm.
story and interesting book, I came up with the title Riding the Executive Roller Coaster because, if you think about it, whether it doesn't matter who you are, but even some of our greatest leaders, we're on top of the roller coaster, right, in life, and then we fall down. We fall all the way down. All right.
Yeah.
And that is the basis of the book. I'm on top as an executive. I go all the way down, which means in
Yeah.
2011, I'm the famous homeless recruiter,
Mm.
and you will learn the spirit of humility,
Mhm.
and you don't always realize, Adam, how spoiled you are in life
Yeah.
until you lose it all,
Mm.
right? But then as we go down on the roller coaster, we always have to come up. So
Yeah.
you will notice in this book, from 2011 until 2016, I'm out working 2 and 3 jobs to rebuild
Mhm.
KdStaffing. All
Yeah.
right. And when we're all the way at the bottom, it's not happy for anybody in life, right?
Mm. Yeah.
It can be the most depressing time in your life. But Adam, what doesn't kill you will only make you stronger,
Mhm.
which means that when I walked into a bank with straight cash, and it was a God thing, and but I had the exact amount of cash saved by
Mhm.
the jobs that I've worked to open and reopen KdStaffing late 2015.
Wow.
And it took, the government officials were like, wow, you did it. How did you do it? Well, we had about 14 government forms going out because you got to catch up your company, but it's the wow factor. You
Yeah.
got back up, you're
Mhm.
stronger, you're thicker, you're tougher, and
Yeah.
you did it. And you're smarter. And nobody wants to go through those
Mhm.
hard, challenging times, right?
Mhm.
But they do teach you, because if you ask me current day how many jobs I'll work, Adam, I'll work 6 jobs if I have to. No,
Yeah.
I'm not, but I'm saying I would.
Yeah.
And I would do it gracefully and respectably.
Mhm.
And I have an entire different personality
Mhm.
based on that homeless year.
Wow. Can you give us and what an amazing story. I mean, it's just an amazing story of persistence, of success. I mean, just a lot of words we can use to describe this. I'd like to give the audience just a little bit of a flavor for some of the stories that you tell in the book. So maybe obviously there's a lot to it, and it's a memoir, so of sorts, and you used a lot of other words to describe it, crime drama, a bunch of words there, but like just to give the audience a little bit of a flavor for the type of stories you tell, like maybe just share a little bit of one. Not we don't have to spoil her too much, but just give us a little bit of a story that's maybe in the book.
You don't want the 4-hour version?
Well, I know I
Okay.
want actually wait. The reason I don't is because I want my audience to go and buy that book. We'll put in the show notes, we'll put the link to the book, all those other good things, but I don't want to spoil it. I want people to go check it out. So that's why I say that.
The basis of the book, Adam, starts off with how do you lose everything?
Mm,
And for medical staffing, we started in 2010 with
yeah.
what would be a brutally awful lawsuit. So how do
Mm,
lawsuits, very bad lawsuits that affect a lot of people, how do they start? Well, in
yeah.
2010, what started is a company owner, Adam,
Mm,
hired for a white collar position, mind you,
mhm,
and a recruitment job, an employee out of the state penitentiary.
mm,
Okay, not a very smart plan.
yeah.
Okay. It was an employment experiment that he was trying at the office. Was this smart? No. So that would be first, hiring somebody out of the state penitentiary for a white collar position.
Uh,
But then the female VP and boss of the office would have an affair with him. Okay.
wow.
And this would start a very bad lawsuit that would affect 85% of the recruitment team, Adam, that were innocent. They didn't do anything
Wow.
wrong.
Mm,
Okay. Now, I'm always going to be the whistleblower.
Yeah.
My attorneys love me. I stand for justice, honesty, and doing the right things. In this particular lawsuit, Adam, in 2010, I was asked to lie to a Texas judge, turn around the story, and then, oh, by the way, I can keep my job and the $100,000 of commission money that was due to me for my job.
Wow.
Adam, I'm gone. All
Yeah.
right. I'm the whistleblower in the book. And this particular recruitment office actually lost 85% of their production, which means I would be the first one to leave and everybody would go behind that.
Wow.
So if, in the matter of legal, I definitely stayed out of every courthouse and but we have, Adam, what's called non-competes in our industry, which means if you go and you work for the competition where you're on that non-compete, you're going right into the courthouse and legal yourself. So I would honor my non-compete and not work, but I would lose everything. Okay. Wow. And so a couple interesting things. Well, first, it's the experience of losing everything. And people don't mean, when you mean you're losing everything, what are you going through? Well, you're going through the series of first your cable, then your TV, then your lights, then your phone, then your car, then your, and what we were able to save, Adam, we were able to lock up and save about 80% of my stuff.
Wow.
So what happens in and I would never, like something interesting in the matter of how popular and my connections, Adam, I don't mean to laugh, but when you do lose your phone and you've got 5,000 contacts, and you're going to a Walmart minute line, it's got 10 contacts, okay, there's already going to be some confusion. For me, you never want this to happen, but it does happen. And what would happen right after Christmas and the beginning of January is I would drop down with heart problems. And I almost died. And the only entertaining part, not that I almost died, that's not real, you're talking to me.
Of course, yeah.
But the wrong message got out to my Dallas friends, and they thought I died from a heart attack.
Oh my God.
So when I show up in the book and they think they're seeing the ghost of Kelli Christina, it's always interesting when people thought you died and you didn't die. So you have that. Yeah.
So this is not a boring book, is what I'm hearing.
It's
Kelli.
not a boring book, at all.
This is like it's written for a movie or something like that. Like it sounds like a film.
Adam, that book has been predicted to go to the movie and the filming industry before I even rewrote it. The litigation of 225 pages was predicted for the movies, and that was 2017. Now, who does all these predictions? I have friends at CBS, local CBS, and production manager that's actually helped me with my book projects, but he swears it's going to the movies. And but anyway, so I live, and a couple days later, my friends realized that I am alive. But then you go through the homeless times. This is how bad it got. I mean, I went from, if you think about it, I bought my first car, Adam. I saved my money at 15 years old. Okay. I was the first one at 21 years old to buy a home. I was 100 steps. So now you're homeless. You're 41 years old. You've lost everything. All right. And I went from a pretty successful, somewhat elegant female to I'm walking the streets and men mistake me as a hooker.
Oh,
okay. And self-defense. I'm sorry, when you're going to, as a female, you're going to use, do I know self-defense? Yes. Do I want to use self-defense? Only on attackers. The point is that you had really sunk to the bottom when you go from a pretty classy female to now men think you're a hooker. And sometimes you ask yourself, or I do, in the matter of, how much I love God. I feel like I call him the man upstairs. Why did I go through this? I definitely, if I would have gotten my commission money of 100,000, should have I ever gone through it? I shouldn't have. But then you do go through it. And I've taken the lessons and what I learned on my path, the homeless year. And I've been able to communicate that, Adam, to a lot of our government officials. Okay. The lessons that, and what I say is this, it's not, I don't think it's that the middle class and the rich, we don't care about what happens with our underprivileged.
Yeah.
We don't walk in their shoes, Adam, so we don't know. So I've been able to take a lot of what's in that book and pass it on to our government officials so that we can make a positive difference in this country for our underprivileged. So, you know, I always say this, whether you're poor, you're middle class, or you're rich, we have about 80% that are absolutely wonderful in every class. And then we've got 20% that are just a walking nightmare.
So Kelli,
Yes.
what is one of the things, and I know there's many things, by the way. So, I mean, it's you sharing this story, by the way, just the inspiration for others that are going through things themselves or know people that are going through things, whatever. We all have our ups and downs in life, but for you to share these through this book and to really just be that vulnerable, to really tell the real story. I think number one, it's brave. But number two, it's just something that it's going to last for a long time. Like the people that pick up this book and read it will be inspired. They will be moved from it. So that's my take on it. But from your perspective, and I know there are many things you want readers to get from it, but what's one big lesson or one big thing that you would hope that your readers walk away from this book after reading?
Adam, I did it on purpose this year, put out this book, and my proudest title is It's an Inspirational Testimonial. And the reason why I bring that up, Adam, is by pure nature. And I think I was telling you this last week. I'm here, I'm a coach. I'm a life coach. I'm a job coach. I'm a people's feelings coach. And by pure human nature and who I am, I get the people that fall down, okay? And they fall down the hardest, and they don't believe, or they struggle with this general idea that in 6 months, a year, or a couple of years, things could get better. There would be forward progress, right? So I'm the big coach for the people that fall down. And my biggest message is that when you fall down, you think, or you're hopeless, all right? Someone has to say, okay, you right on the sidewalk, the one that's down there, flatline, whatever, we're getting back up. We're gonna, it's not gonna happen, in an hour or a day or a month. What's gonna happen is you're gonna get back up over a period of time if you can just believe and you can work for it.
Yeah. What a great message. Just so inspiring. So Kelli, I just have to say, I mean, this has been amazing having you on the show to get to know more about your book, to get to know more about KdStaffing. I mean, so I just have to ask you, I mean, what's next? What's next for you? What's next for the promo? I mean, what's next for Kelli?
Okay. Well, Adam, like so many other company owners right now, we've got our goals, and, we've had our own challenges during the pandemic. So my biggest goal this year is my team is a little bit minimized. Need to add a little bit to my team. We're looking to grow some hospital locations. In 20 years, I've recruited 49 out of 50 states.
Wow.
So I take on whatever challenge I get, and I'm about get the new clients, and in 6 months, be in love with our services and keep us for years. So I'm all about stronger KdStaffing. Let's grow locations. Let me work on training, developing, and rehiring my team, because we've had, again, our challenges too. And then, oh, by the way, for the international best-selling book, I'm going to have to continue to promote it a little bit, but let's push it over to filming to see if they want that juicy movie, that high drama movie. And why not? It would be a blessing. And a lot of people have thought that our beautiful Hollywood community is going to grab up that book one of these years. So my goal is, let's try it 2022, right?
Yeah. Amazing. What a great story. So, Kelli, that being said, if somebody is watching this or listening to this and they want to learn more either about KdStaffing or pick up a copy of your book, I mean, what's the best way for people to do that?
So we are very, very aggressive and responsive on our KdStaffing site, which is www.kd.org. Okay, there's a hit contact team, and we will reply pretty aggressively. And then for the author site, Adam, and where you can find the book and buy the book, yes, it's out on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Ingram Spark, but the personal author site is Kelli Dennehey Christina.com. It's got a professional write-up and more juice on the book.
Awesome. And for my audience, we'll definitely put all of these links and stuff in the show notes so that they can just click on the links, head right on over to KdStaffing, and also to pick up a copy of your book. So great stuff there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time with us at Mission Matters, first off, we like to say welcome and thank you for visiting. But also, if you're into content that's meant to inspire, to motivate, we bring on mission-based entrepreneurs, executives, and experts and have them share, like, why do they do what they do? Like, what gets them excited and motivated to go out there and make a difference? If that's the kind of content that you're into, we love to have you subscribe and be a return visitor and to watch more of the interviews we have coming up, because we have many more mission-based entrepreneurs and executives coming on the line, and we don't want you to miss a thing. And Kelli, really, it has been a pleasure getting to know more about you, your background, the amazing story, and just what a great book, and for you to be able to share that story with the world, I think is amazing. And just want to say again, thank you for coming on the show. It's been a lot of fun.
Adam Torres, thank you for the connection this year. You impressed me so much with what you do on your show. And I feel very blessed that we got to know each other a little bit this year. And I just want to wish you an amazing 2022.
Thank you, Kelli.